Well, hey there everybody. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike and I do bees. Welcome to somewhere other than Southeast Louisiana. I think my whole property was teleported somewhere else in the north because it's cold. We are dealing with ice, and this bush right here usually stands tall. Well, not so tall today. It's a bottle brush. They don't usually do well in cold weather, much less freezing weather like this. Ground is frozen. We had hail, we had rain, we had sleet, we had a mix. We did have a few flurries, but that was it, no snow. And now we're icing up pretty well because that blast finally made it down to Southeast Louisiana. But we didn't ice terrible, although power's out. And that's what I'm doing out today. I'm going to get my small generator to get my greenhouse going because I don't want my plants to freeze. But it was timed just perfectly where we actually went out of the ice and sleet stage, went back into the rain stage, and we rained a pretty good while, so it let the rain really start moving through a good amount before we drop back into the freezing. So the roads are icy, the interstates are closed, all the long bridges, you know, we have those bridges 20 miles long going over the swamps and all, they're all closed up because it's iced over. But as far as the ice accumulation, it could have been a lot worse. We've had it a lot worse down here, but we were good to go because, as I said, a lot of the rain had moved through and we were steady at 32, so we weren't really getting too bad off. Now, as it was ending, we got into the upper 20s, and then we began to freeze and accumulate. So it's not terrible. Happy about that. My live oaks, those are the ones you got to worry about. Live oaks are a southern tree. They stay green year round. The limbs are almost down to the ground right now, but those are the ones when we had our 8-inch snow years ago, back in 08 actually. That really decimated the tops of my live oaks because those trees just aren't, they're southern trees. They're not equipped for the snow and they break off. But look at this thing, it's hanging down. My rosemary behind it's all drooping. Of course, you saw my bottle brush. You can see my live oak. See, the limbs are almost to the ground, of course. But we're very fortunate. We didn't take a ton of ice in the ground. It was frozen earlier, but it's already, even though it's gotten colder, it's still thawed more because, again, we transitioned back and forth from sleet and wintry rain and freezing rain back and forth to regular rain, as the temperature just kind of stayed there at 32 for a long time. So we're definitely grateful for that. Definitely grateful for that. But everything is coated in ice, so that affects a lot of our southern landscapes really bad. But you know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I got my citrus trees covered and my blueberries, which I normally wouldn't cover blueberries, but they were blooming. And the Ag Center said with the blooms, you may save them if you cover them, so we gave it a shot. And this little thing is drooping down. This is a plum tree. It's drooping down on top of my fence, but it's all right. I was going to cut this down, but you can see the blooms were going to come out. The only reason I kept this old tree around because it doesn't fruit anymore is because the dogs, before they passed on, they would stay under the shade, and also it would bloom really big for the bees. But yeah, I'm gonna go get the small generator so I can get my greenhouse warmed up and keep it. It was running steady at about 35-40 degrees. We want to keep it there. The only hives I'm concerned about are my nukes, but we're supposed to stay in the 30s. I think the high tomorrow is like 36, and we won't warm up until Wednesday evening, or maybe it's Thursday, I think. So we're not going to warm up till then. We're going to have sustained cold wind and north wind. Tonight it's supposed to get in the teens. So that's the only ones I'm concerned about. It's the 2 nukes that are small, because cold. Hopefully there's enough bees in there to cluster up and keep warm. And then that cutout that I followed up on. Now this video is obviously coming out before my my next 2, which were done before this, but everybody was going good and everybody was looking good, so hopefully there's enough bees in there to do 3 days of below 40 temps. There should be. The big thing is just duration. We're not used to the duration down here, so our plants are going to suffer. Now my top bar, I went yesterday to cover these up and to you know, make sure my lights were on in my pump house and everything, and I looked at my top bar. My top bar appears to have absconded. I couldn't get that out. My lips are getting cold, but it appears to have absconded. No bees in it, just a bunch of honey, empty comb, and everybody's gone. Not even any dead bees. Oh, there goes a big old limb. Wind just knocked that one out of the top. It was on the neighbor's property. But yeah, there's no dead bees, nothing. Completely gone. They were there a week ago, so they absconded and are somewhere in this cold weather. So, man, that was a good hive. I hope they're fine. Why they absconded? Well, several reasons bees abscond, but there was no beetle larvae or beetle residue or anything in there. The honey is all still intact, and beetles will decimate that. So there wasn't a beetle issue at all. No wax moths or anything in it, which it's not the time of year. They wouldn't have taken over that strong of a hive. And I know mite loads can sometimes run them out because they're stressed, but usually they just get the viruses and die off if the mite loads are that bad. And there's no dead bees, not in the front, not anywhere, not out on the ground. So very strange. They absconded for whatever reason. I'm not sure what it was, but they're gone. So anyway, they were there a week ago when I did my walkthrough. Oh well. We'll cut all the comb out, leave a strip of comb on each bar, and I've caught swarms in there every time. That's how I've never put a hive of bees in there. It's always been a swarm. That was the third colony in now 8 years. So, well, we've had pretty good success. So we got a little bit of icing going on, not much. Like I said, we're very fortunate. Now this little loquat tree, I don't know if a Japanese plum they call them down here. I don't know if she's gonna make it. They don't do well in the cold. Mayhaw tree is iced over. And then, oh, there's a busted limb up there. I see one on the top of that pine. Let me go back there and look. But it's pretty. But it's nothing. This is nothing compared to the one ice storm we had down here that was so bad. But again, we're out of power, so that's no fun. But it sure is pretty. There's remnants of the hail that was left behind. It hailed this morning for about 4 or 5 minutes. A heavy hail, but fortunately it was small, peanut size, so wouldn't have hurt anything. But now we get to go see how many water oaks drop limbs all over the place. Water oaks are the worst. All right, let's look back. Go check out these bees. Oh, yeah, we really did good, man. We got like no ice, no huge ice accumulations. I'm very, very grateful. Very grateful. I mean, I see a few limbs down here and there, but that's nothing. Well, no limbs down on these. That's good. That's all I'm walking back here for. Make sure we haven't got any limbs on top of my hive. Next door there shouldn't be any because there's no major trees around it. We had a lot of rain too, and the ground was saturated already from previous rains. So it looks like we're clear over here. Yeah, I think we're clear. They dipped down a little bit, but there's a lot of new growth coming out on some of these. Had about a week of warm weather. I tell you, some people have said this has been a mild winter. It is not, and then this tops it off. It has not been mild. We've had like 3 weeks of warmer temps for sure, but not like it was last year. So. All right, well, we're clear and free on the hives. I'm happy about that. All right, guys, so anyway, just showing y'all a little bit of weather down here. I know you guys are getting it a lot worse up north, and have gotten it a lot worse up north. I know ECP was out of power for a while, and other guys were showing all the snow. But this is hopefully our one winter event. And if power doesn't come on later, we're gonna have to break out the big generator and light up the house and break out the electric blanket, because I don't have a fireplace in my house. And we do have fireplaces down here. This particular house we bought just happens to not, but plenty of people do have them down here. But it wasn't on our list of priorities when we bought, because you use them a little bit here and there. Some people use them a lot more than others, but we can make it without. We'll fire up the electric blanket and we'll be good to go. Alright folks, well, just wanted to show y'all what's going on down here in the deep south. Looks like we're gonna have a few hours to deal without any power. We'll see when the linemen can get back out, because what you got to remember down here is we're not equipped for icy roads at all. We don't even have the equipment. The most we can do, we don't have salt or anything like that. The most they do is put sand out on the bridges to at least give you some grip and break the ice up, and there's not much else we can do down here but wait for it. We don't drive in it regularly, we don't live with it regularly, and we're not equipped for it regularly. So when even this little bit of ice will shut us down, at least for the day. Not much we can do. So we got to wait for the power companies to be able to get out there, and those guys will be out there before anybody, but they'll get out there, they'll get our power back on soon, I'm sure, and we'll be back in business. But anyway, just want to show you all what's going on. Hope y'all are having a good day, and wishing everybody the best. And I got more videos coming out of some things I did a couple days ago. So hey, y'all have a good one. May Lord God bless you. See y'all later.